Merhaba,
안녕하세요.
Hello guys.
Hi.
I invited today.
Tiba!
Yay.
Hello, nice to meet you guys. My name is Tiba and I'm from Iraq, but I also lived part of my life in Sweden.
Sweden?
So, yes,
Oh.
I have two nationalities. I have Swedish and Iraqi.
So today I want to talk about woman rights. Is it okay?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm so
of course.
interesting because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
studied about human rights,
Yes.
so you have more expert perspective,
Yes,
maybe.
yes.
Many people generally think woman rights in Islam is very low because they wear
Yes.
hijab and
Yes,
they
yes, yes.
can, like Saudi Arabia, a few years ago, they cannot drive, they
Yeah.
cannot enter the stadium.
Yes,
That
true.
kinds of thing make non-Muslim people think, oh, maybe their right is low.
Yeah.
But when I meet my Muslim friends, they think really differently. They think they deserve equally.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious about that. I want to ask you, and you're Muslim too. So do you think woman rights
The Muslim countries?
in general,
Yeah.
their light is low? Do you think?
I feel like the problem that we are experiencing is a mixture or misunderstanding between culture
difference.
aspects and religion. I feel like they are both being mixed in the Middle East because there's so many things that in Islam that fights for women's rights, but then when you come and think about it in a cultural perspective, then the woman is being repressed by the society, but not because of the religion, but just because of the society. And I feel like that's how it was even in Korea before.
Yes,
There is so
yes.
many repression on women, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's religious related.
So it's not because of religion.
No, it's more like a cultural male-dominant society, or sometimes justified by the religion. It's like, but this is how it says in Quran, and this is how it says in here, but they just exclude other aspects, which is fighting for women's rights. We don't talk about them because it doesn't benefit men. So that's one of the most problematic issue. But I feel like it's hopefully is getting better more and more with the new generation in the Middle East. And
so many
everyone-
laws is changing.
Yes, many laws are changing, and the new generation is more open-minded, reading more, studying more, and realizing that everyone is equal and everyone should be given the opportunity because the Islam, the religion we are proud of, is actually fighting for this, fighting for equality between men and women. So it will only make sense if we do as well.
Yeah, the Quran said that in front of the God, every human beings or person
Exactly,
have
yes.
same rights.
Yes.
I heard that if you're late, their family think that's not good at their reputation, so they killed, honor killing. But that's it's very sensitive.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that?
I think it's a very cultural thing again, and just it's in different countries. That goes back in history to the tradition, but that doesn't have anything to do with Islam. That's the thing. There's
it's
no
not
such a thing.
Islam.
Absolutely not. You cannot kill in Islam. You cannot kill at all.
Yeah, right.
And actually, even dishonoring the relationship between parents and children, it's very pure. So the Islam even says that if your parents is not Muslim, just be nice to them anyway because they are your parents. So sorry if I quote it not correctly, but it's something along the lines. So it's a religion that's really forbid killing just like that. That's forbidden. So absolutely not.
There are so many misunderstandings because Islam spread so many countries, so they mix so many cultures.
Yes.
Many people misunderstand about that.
Exactly. There's so much misunderstanding, and I really hope in the future with YouTube and other things we can explain to the world that there is differences. Religion is not the same as culture, and it's not just happening in the Middle East. This problem is happening everywhere. There's so many.
In Korea too.
Yeah, there's so many things.
The gender conflicts are so serious in Korea nowadays.
Exactly. And that doesn't have anything to do with religion.
Yeah, right. It's not because of religion.
No, exactly.
I want to ask, many countries, their feminism is very a big issue in the worldwide.
Yes,
it's a worldwide
that's
issue.
right, yes.
And I'm curious that the Middle East or other Islamic countries, is there any movements
Fighting for women's
Fighting
rights.
for women's
Yes,
rights.
yes. I actually haven't been in Iraq for 18 years. But I have been in Jordan, for example. I visited a few times, yes. And in Jordan, for example, I can say, I feel like there is movement and there is also organizations, non-governmental organizations who are actually fighting for women's rights. But of course, everything that happens regarding a human rights, it's in a very slow process. So it does take time. And it doesn't happen in a blink. Changes, especially social changes,
Yeah.
they happen very slow.
Yeah, right.
Everything, it takes time in order to change something, to change people's mind.
They need time.
They need
they're-
time, absolutely. So I'm sure, I'm positive that change will happen because I see it in certain countries. Even in Saudi Arabia, for example, the changes are happening.
Yeah, right.
There is a positive outcome in the future,
Mm.
but it's just a matter of time. It might take time.
Yeah, so it is changing.
Yeah, I think so.
hopefully.
I believe so. I think that it's changing. Like they're trying to give the
Yeah.
same opportunity to men and women. It's definitely getting better. Unfortunately, it will take years. It will maybe take decades. Even in Sweden, like 100 years ago, they were one of the worst
Yeah, right.
when it comes to women's rights. But now they are like one of the best. So it does take time. So I'm sure, and besides Iraq and other countries, they have experienced so much war. So the people didn't have time to think of social problems.
Yeah, yeah. There
Because
are
when you
so
don't
many-
have when you don't have food to eat at home, you cannot think of what about women right?
Yeah.
It's like a priority.
Yeah, you can solve the problem at the first and then think about that.
Exactly. So I think when the war calmed down a bit, the Middle East situation and the political situation calmed down, I'm positive that changes will happen.
That's cool.
I think it should be more about qualifications,
Yeah,
more than
qualification.
gender.
It's not gender conflict.
No,
It's human beings.
Exactly. And even when it comes to like the different skin color,
Yeah,
they
sure,
should. No
of
one
course.
should be treated differently just because you are born in a way that you can never change. You cannot change your gender. You cannot change your identity. You cannot change your skin color. So there's things that is you, and you don't want to change it, and that should be your right. You have all the right to be you.
So yeah, I think there are many misunderstandings about Islam even nowadays. But if there is some problems, it's just their problems, not because of Islam or because of
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so I
And-
wanna say that, yeah.
Yes. And the thing is like religion for me is a very personal thing. My religion is different from yours, for example.
Sure,
Although
sure.
both of us are, for example, Muslims, my relationship with God is different from yours. That's why, in my opinion, we should never judge someone just based on the way they look, or the way they dress, or the way they show their religion. In a way, I feel
Sure,
like
sure.
everything is very personal. It's a relationship between God and the person.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all depending on myself and on my intentions. I believe in intentions. If I have good intentions, as long as God knows my intentions are innocent, even if the other person in the front of me is misunderstanding my actions just because of the way I look, that doesn't mean that I'm wrong. If
Nobody can judge that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
nobody can, and nobody can say like you are more religious and you are less religious just because you do 1, 2, 3. No, there is way more. Religion and Islam is a life. It's a life thing. It goes from the day you are born to the day you die. It's a life process.
I'm so impressed that Islam focus on the relationship you and God. Not-
Exactly, and that's I think one of the most important aspects. When I forbid myself from doing something bad, not because I don't want my neighborhood to think I'm a bad person. No, I wouldn't care what they think. I would care what God thinks. That's one of the
That's
most
cool.
important things I believe.
That's cool. So today we talked about girls' right in
Yes.
Islam. It was so interesting.
Yeah, it was
so
really
interesting.
interesting.
I want to talk more things later.
I would love to.
Thank you for saying really well about
Yeah,
this
thank you so
topic.
much. No,
Yeah.
it's no problem.
Yeah, it
Thank
can
you
be
for
really
having
sensitive,
me.
but
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But as long as we keep in mind that everyone has different perspectives,
sure,
different
sure.
opinions, there is no such a thing as good or bad opinion.
If we don't talk about this, nothing's changed.
That's true.
Yeah, we
That's
have to
true.
talk about
Absolutely,
this.
absolutely.
We have to be discussion.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for watching my video. So take care and be safe and bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ma salama.
Ma'as salama.